Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children.
Wade in the water.
Boom, boom.
God won't drive out the water.
Okay.
Through the crate.
Oh, hi. Oh, were we recording?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, shit.
I
What's
totally
up, guys?
recorded that. Hello and hello and hello. Welcome to Through the Crate, episode 6. Views from my fucking house up here, because this is what I feel like. We are doing this right now.
Yo, why are you so turned up, though?
Because my name's not Joe Budden. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
You just...
Anyway.
All the way up!
And we all the way up. Anyway, episode 6.
What's up? Yeah, man.
Feels good, huh? Feels good to be here.
If you know what, I'm really happy.
Yeah.
Just last night, I was sleeping, and I woke up,
Uh-huh.
and I couldn't wait for this moment.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you were sleeping, and I'm glad you woke up.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't, there'd be some problems here. I'd probably be very devastated.
But the podcast must go on.
It must. And you know what else must go on?
What's that?
These goddamn wins from my Warriors, my nigga.
School.
OMG.
What?
Did you see that game last night?
No.
So we were down
Remember,
at
I
the
said I
half.
was sleeping.
Oh, yeah, you weren't sleeping. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So we were down at the half, and I had to go to sleep. And I woke up to a victory with in OT.
Yeah. Curry scored
And Curry was like
17 points in OT.
amazing. Amazing.
See, let's go Dubs.
Let's go, Dubs. We are originally from California. I am a diehard
From
Warriors
Oakland.
fan. So don't try and talk to me about bandwagon shit.
Oakland,
because you can go suck a
smoking.
dick with that shit. Anyway.
Yeah, her old screen name, guys, just to let you know how real deal Holyfield it is, was Run TMC. What it
Still
do?
is.
What it do, guys?
What it do. And if y'all don't know who that is, you better ask somebody, baby.
Amen. Amen.
All right. Anyway,
Yeah. So, what's up?
taking a sip here. What else is going on in the news and hip hop and everything? What's going on? I mean, what should we talk about? There's so many other things to talk about, but this is the 6th episode. What do we do?
I mean, you know, we should probably talk about the biggest record that has dropped so far this year.
Mm-hmm. And what would that might be?
It is the 6th episode.
6th.
I mean, you know.
We're lightweight sounding kind of, what is it, demonic or?
666.
Exactly.
Mark of the beast. Sell my soul to Satan for a sultry 6.
You are ridiculous.
No, but seriously, guys, we're definitely going to be talking about this view shit.
We told you last time, and guess what? 6th episode equals views from the 6, aka views.
Now, I'm sure I'm sure that I've been bothering myself with how many goddamn Drake references have been popping their way into every single fucking podcast.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I would like to say this will be the Drake episode to end all Drake episodes.
Yes, I really am hopeful that this is the end of all.
Get it out.
Let's just
Get
do
it
it.
out. Let's just do this thing. Let's talk about it. Let's get the cats out the bags.
Mm-hmm.
Dora's not here right now. Let's get the cats out the bags, and then we can find some peace.
So this album, views from the 6. Do you want to give an overall and then start diving in, or what you want to do?
So okay, views from the 6. In case you have been living under a rock for the last however many months.
2 years actually, because he's announced it like 2 years ago.
This is supposed to be Drake's view, excuse my choice of words there, but his view of his city.
Right.
You know, even with the artwork of him sitting on top of the tower overlooking
Photoshopped.
everything. So this is supposed to be an overview. We're supposed to listen to this record and understand what it's like to be a Aubrey in Toronto.
Aubrey Graham sits on this Space Needle type thing because I've never been to Toronto, and this is supposed to be the audio film
Yes.
to your
Soundtrack.
thank you.
To your
the
city.
soundtrack to your city. This is supposed to be it.
So if they did a soundtrack for my city, Oakland, that should be turned the fuck up.
It'd be banging. It's some real bass shit. I actually want to get into some bass stuff, but I might save that for next episode because this is a huge episode in regards to Mr. Six. So, but yeah, like the Bay, that'd be a turned up fucking tape.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I don't know. After listening to it, do you want to go to Toronto?
I mean, nah, bruh. So this is one thing I heard. I don't want to. No, I'm just gonna dive in. This is one thing that I listened to when it came to that whole interview that he had with Zane Lowe from Beats One Radio.
Yep.
He said that this album was supposed to get you to feel this changing of seasons in Toronto.
He did
from
say that.
from the cold winters that they have there to the summer and then back to winter again. I want to tell you an album that made me feel seasons.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Lupe Fiasco.
Yep.
Tetsuo and Youth.
Tattoo and Youth. Yeah, sure did.
That made me feel seasons.
It was broken up into seasons. You could definitely feel the hostility getting a little bit more hostile and live and real as summer approaches. Which is
there was
just the way it
dynamics
is
to that. There were
in
ebbs
Chicago.
and flows. There were
Yes.
crescendos leading up to things. And
Yes.
there were like Thank you. I haven't been in music for a while. Crescendos coming down.
Yep.
And like there was the dynamics of that album made you feel like, you know, you're starting off in fall and you're getting towards the you know, the spring, the winter, or not winter, excuse me, the summer, and then you get into that winter cold. And like he had those actual like interludes, tracks,
transitions.
those transitions were on point. Coming back to Views, I don't know what he was thinking. He had like maybe one or two like just spaces where he tried to do that, where like you hear, like I just remember like in the beginning of the album there was like this space where like there was just a long pause of just like you're hearing the atmosphere of where he's supposed to be trying to bring you, and to me that didn't translate very well. Now maybe that is just because I've never been to Toronto. I'll play my own devil's advocate there, but
he didn't make you want to go.
He didn't really make me like it. Just I didn't understand it. And maybe and if you're going to present your city in a certain way, like you should make me want to go there. Now Tetsuo and Youth, I think that could translate to anywhere. You know, like
For
that.
Sure, yeah.
Like, but the one thing that I actually felt and that I was able to know because I've lived out here in Chicago is I could feel exactly what Tetsuo and Youth was trying to get at because I've lived here. I do live here, so. With Views, I was just like, that is just something that I just don't understand. Like those transitions were kind of weird. Like it was dull to me. Like that maybe I didn't get it.
Okay, well
didn't translate.
Let's dive into it a bit. I mean, I totally just starting off from the first track and how it transitioned. I honestly thought it opened up fairly well.
Really? Okay.
The first track I kind of get is really cinematic.
Yes.
You know, it's got this real cinematic feel, something that you don't necessarily get from Drake. So it was very interesting to just hear him open up like that, and it's like, okay, cool, man. Yeah, this is gonna be something special here. You know, Drake.
It did get me excited. I'm not gonna lie. But after listening to the album, that's what I came up with my conclusion. But yeah, I definitely agree with you right there. Like listening to the album, that definitely sets you up for something. Like, okay, it gets you excited for it.
Yeah, keep the family close. I actually generally like that track.
Okay.
What comes next? 9.
Well, actually, I have a couple of things on that first track. I thought it sounded very Weekend-ish.
Weekend-ish?
Weekend, like like the Weeknd, EXO.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The production was on point though. And that's like there's one thing because I don't know if you guys know, but I do not like The Weeknd. I'm not a big fan of The Weeknd. I don't think he can sing very well. I think or maybe his voice isn't just for me. But that's just that's up for discussion in
Personal.
another,
All right.
that's just my personal opinion of The Weeknd. But that one song that he did for, what is that, 50 Shades of Grey? I was like, okay, this is not a bad song because the production on it was amazing. And me just being somebody that's a music lover, I normally gravitate to the production before the lyrics anyway. So listening to that song, I was like, that was very, very Weekendish. But then I also was like, who the hell is he talking about? Like, I feel like he's like very vague.
Right.
And like, how am I supposed to feel you if you're like leaving everything's a cliffhanger on every,
I mean, that's pretty much Drake. I mean, he doesn't really do interviews.
Yeah.
If you want to be real about the music, I know. Listen, if you listen to every Drake album before this, you know almost nothing about Drake through his music. You know about his women and about his life since the music.
You know about his grandmother and his mother. I'll give him that. You actually know about that because you found that found that out on Take Care. Okay. You found what's that? I'm gonna have to look up that song, but there's a song on there that actually like I used to bump and listen to all the time because it was one of the realest songs that he had to have written that song.
But that's an oddity on a Drake album, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
just in the history of Drake albums, granted, Future is not necessarily giving us his life story either. No. So I'm not faulting Drake. Just necessarily, I'm just pointing out.
I think we expect something different from Drake than we expect from Future.
I mean, if you name your album Views from the 6 and it's supposed to be the soundtrack to your city, and
you've hyped it up this way.
I just kind of expect to know more. So I think it's an interesting point. Even on track 1, you're saying he's just being kind of
vague,
very vague. I actually thought the album started off generally fairly
well,
positively. It left me with hope for the rest of the album. 9, I thought was probably the catchiest song on it, to be honest, for me. After listening to it a few times, what keeps playing back in my head is 9. Again, I probably couldn't really tell you what the song's about. And then I'm pretty much good. Like, I think, what was it? The song Hype?
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed it, but the style to that kind of sounded like a couple of the Quentin Miller songs that I'd heard. Not saying Quentin Miller just like wrote it, but if you did work with someone on some stuff, it's just natural for kind of the style to kind of rub off on you a bit. Kind of like when he worked with Future. You could definitely hear that.
Well, yeah. I actually agree. I thought that he was in his bag on that one, like on Hype. Like I thought he was in my like he was just in that like zone where he's like, I'm on this is my shit, like fuck you type of zone. Like that's what I thought about Hype. But then again, it is on that Quentin Miller tip.
Just the flow, you know what I'm saying? But I like, you know what? I like it when Drake raps. Like,
yeah, I mean that's his strong suit. Like
for sure,
you're entertaining when you rap, so continue to rap. And
then probably where I'd stop is Weston Road Flows. I don't mind that track. I actually kind of like it because it kind of reminds me of the old Drake.
Yeah,
like it's kind of like the backpack Drake on that one, which I think was intentional. And that's the Drake that I really liked early on in his career. And that's really all I have to say about the record.
Okay.
No, because after song 6, I just
tuned out.
So on his last record, if you're reading this, it's too late. The first like half of the record is pretty upbeat. Drake is kind of doing some good flows. It's some nice kind of catchy songs. And then Party Next Door has these 2 songs, and then the album just freaking falls off the face of the earth. And that's kind of how I feel this one happens. And lo and behold, Party Next Door is fucking right in the middle of this fucking record.
Right.
And it just goes downhill from there. And this one, it's not even the middle. It's like the first 6 songs are listenable. And then after that, it just goes
somewhere else.
Somewhere completely different. You get 14 tracks of just the type of Drake that I don't like, which is the singing, whining, complaining about how shitty My Awesome Life is. He's like the rapping Justin Bieber on the second half of this thing, or the second 2/3 of this thing, and it's.
I think on With You, the 8th track, I think that's actually a really catchy song, and I think like he's moving more into a dance hall type of area. Like that's what, like if you listen to With You, One Dance, Controlla, like all of those songs, like he's very dance hall-y. Especially like how Toronto apparently is adapting this Jamaican or island type of way of talking, like the Tings man and the Dogman and the West man.
Why would someone from the islands go to Toronto? It's cold as hell.
I'm not gonna front. I'm not even gonna like speak on any of that because like I don't know like if there's like some type of like underground like Jamaican thing or scene or something that's out there that I don't know about, but it's very weird from the outside.
Yes.
Like hearing him just start, like even when he talks in his interviews, it's like his whole voice has changed. Like, yeah, man, it's the Tings and I'm like, okay.
It's like you weren't doing this before.
Who are you? It's like when we didn't know that Shaggy was actually putting on a front, you know? Like when Shaggy, I hate to compare it, you know? But like Shaggy, he admitted, like, yeah, I have a Shaggy voice. And then like, but he's also actually from the islands, you know? So it's just that whole thing like kind of gets me. But that With You song, like, it's about us right now, girl, where you going? Like that song, I really like that chorus. But I don't care for any of his verses or whatever else is coming on there. So like Party Next Door actually makes that song for me. I don't know. That's what I have for that. And then Faithful, going to number 9 track with Pimp C and Division. What the fuck was he doing with that Pimp C? Like that didn't even need to be on that. You wasted a Pimp C sample.
It's because it's Drake and he can, and it's to kind of throw back to his, roots of I'm from Toronto, but then I've also got
Tennessee
in Houston. Or
he's from Tennessee, but he's got his like Houston connects, whatever. So. I don't give a shit about that. This, like, to me, that it just didn't work. It just didn't work to me.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with it.
And then also going back up to number 3. Like, I know I'm bouncing around right now, but like going up to number 3, the You With Me track. Like, you're using, the only good part about that is the fact that you were using DMX's hook.
I still kind of felt that reminded me of like a Worst Behavior kind of song.
Yeah, Worst. I love Worst, but that didn't remind me like that. Okay. I don't know. I just wasn't very impressed with this album.
No, I mean, I definitely wasn't. Very
I don't know if you guys can tell.
I wasn't very impressed at all. To be very honest with with everyone out there listening, I have not been very impressed with any Drake album.
Yeah, as a whole.
As a whole, I feel like he has an issue or has a problem formulating a one cohesive idea and turning it into a project that flows. Remember last week we talked about some of the shortcomings about the A$AP Ferg record.
Right.
It's a collection of songs that I generally like, but in the order that they were decided on, in the context of the record, the artwork, the name, it didn't quite flow. It wasn't cohesive.
Right.
And that's how I feel is a big problem with a lot of Drake records. Probably his most cohesive piece of work, probably Take Care. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the singing Drake is the Drake is my least favorite Drake. So, Take Care is not going to be one of my favorites. But at least I understand where that kind of idea was coming from.
Right.
But this one, there was so much hype. There was so much, this was supposed to be Drake's classic record. And if you guys had been listening to us since episode 1, you know what we had said about this Drake record. If it was not a classic, Drake would slowly fall into a decline. And yes, this album was extremely commercially successful. He sold about 1.1 million records in his first week.
Right.
A little less than that. We'll round up just to give Drake the benefit of the doubt. 1.1. Of that 1.1, it was about over 800,000 of those were actual units sold.
Right, because everything else is counted as streams.
Counting as streams, which they're counting now. Either way you cut it, that's a fuck ton of records.
Yeah, it is.
People purchasing.
So it means somebody likes it.
It means a lot of people like it. But just because it's commercially successful, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I haven't read any reviews of this album. I haven't listened to anyone else's opinion on it because I wanted to get my opinion out there before I listen to others.
Right.
But I can't even begin to assume that any other hip hop outlet is going to co-sign this thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll go online tonight after we finish recording this and listen and watch some reviews and people be in love with it for things that maybe I missed. You know what? I mean, I tried. I listened to it as many times as I possibly could.
But and that's the thing is that when I first listened to it, when I first tried to give it my first active listen, I was listening to it and it was literally very hard for me to not turn it off. Like, and maybe it was just my expectations. Like, I was expecting so much more. Maybe I was expecting one of my friends on Facebook. Shout out to Mass Potential. He said y'all thought that Drake was gonna come out with the album that Royce did, Tabernacle. Or not Tabernacle. That's Tabernacle's the first song. It's Layers. Sorry. Like, y'all thought he was going to come out with that. And I think that was a really good statement. I was like, yeah, we all thought that we were going to get something. Like, at least the people that, like, actually dive into the music like this. We thought we were getting something of substance from him. Again. Because I want to say the only thing I ever got of substance from him was Comeback Season. And that's his very first thing that I've ever heard from him. So, like, I don't know, like,
that's one of my biggest problems with Drake. I think you hit on the head there. Mm-hmm. The lack of substance. Mm-hmm. He's like a goddamn Ken doll. Like, if Nicki Minaj is the Barbie, then he's the Ken. Like, just completely plastic. Songs about nothing.
Right.
Like, songs that add nothing to the narrative that is Drake. When I listen to an artist, specifically a rapper, what gets me into the rapper is not just the music, but it's the story behind the music.
Right.
It's the person behind the music.
That's why you're up here.
The mic.
Yeah.
You know, part of, you know, we're going to keep bringing these two up, but Pac and Biggie's story is the life of the people and the fact that they gave you a piece of their life through their music. I don't feel like Drake is giving me a piece of his life at all through his music.
No. So, and that's what's happening is that Views is like just, it's very emotional, but it's lyrically ambiguous. It's like, it's very just, it's not, to me, like, it's, I don't even know if it's hip hop. You know, like, I don't know if this, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation in a sense, but.
You know what? Maybe Drake is just so ahead of his time, you just haven't caught up yet.
And, you know, a lot of people have said that about Kanye, and we didn't catch up to Kanye. So I don't know if I'm, like, judging too soon. Like, I leave room for error, you know? But, like, I can just tell you right now how I feel about it, and I don't fucking like it. You know? Like, I just felt like he has these expectations to live up to, and he's not living up to those for me, especially, like, following him for so long.
Right.
And being such a big, like, I was a very big fan of Drake. Like,
I know.
That's back when Wale was my favorite rapper.
Yes.
For a long time. And then Wale kind of, you know, fell off the wayside because I didn't know what the hell he was doing with his life. And that just happens. Like, you know, it's like losing friends. Like, you guys just separate. You part ways a little bit. But Drake is like one of those people that, like, you want to keep saying they're his friend because he's always in your face. Like, or maybe like the ex that you broke up with, but you guys are still friends and you guys still have the same type of friends. That's still same circle. You want to continue to be cool with them, but they're just not giving you what you want to, or what you need to be cool with them. And that's what Drake's doing for me. Like, he's not giving me what I need in order to be a consistent fan for him. Because he's not being consistent for me.
He's not. I mean, but you know what? I think he is being consistent.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
He is being
Let me take
consistent.
that back.
He's extremely consistent.
Yes.
He's consistently lukewarm.
Sorry, you old lukewarm ass nigga.
You know what I'm saying?
Nigga,
I mean,
don't know why, but I got a picture of a dude, like some dude that's knocked out on the couch after drinking hella much, and then you put somebody's hand in water and you make them piss themselves. I don't know why that's the... Anyway.
So Drake's music is like passing out drunk and making your friend piss themselves.
By putting their hand in a lukewarm bowl of water.
Hey, he's sleeping. Put on Take Care. Watch this nigga pee on himself.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man. No, but...
you know what? Okay, I feel like we're bashing him a little bit, so I'm trying to give him a little positive.
Okay, go for it.
The production on this, I was very into. For a lot of it. Like on Feel No Ways, I believe that's the song. I really liked like the whole kind of like 80s style of that. The beat was pretty dope. It's very ambient. Had that crunchy snare to it. That one I actually kind of liked. And then like I do like some of the catchiness to it. Like overall, like I probably wouldn't listen to this whole album ever again. But after listening, but I will say that like 40 did his shit. Like he did his thing on the production, on the mixing. I know that 40 didn't actually produce everything on it, but I know there was like Boy Wonder.
He did a lot.
Yeah.
40 was all over this thing.
So I think 40 did his thing. Like if I had an instrumental to album, like just without the vocals and everything, I'd probably listen to that and I'd probably vibe out with that a lot more.
But even the instrumental, so like how you said, you know, Drake hasn't changed. He's been consistently lukewarm, right?
Same with 40.
Like it's the same production, but maybe a little shiner with a little extra polish on it. But
Let's
it's
put glitter on it this time.
Yeah, let's. I don't know. Let's upgrade the incandescence to, you know, a compact fluorescence. Like it's the same light, but from a different, little different source. Like,
right.
But it's the same shit though. Like it's really hard. It's really difficult for me to point out the things that make this album unique to other Drake records, and I tried. Maybe it was the effort. You know, maybe he was just trying so hard.
And he also said that this was his like best vocal performance ever. And I was like, it sounds very similar.
No, I mean there were some standout moments vocally.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's using the auto-tune, but his voice did kind of, it came through crisper. Maybe that's what I was referring to.
Okay.
It sounded a little bit crisper. So, I mean, even when he's singing, I mean, he's not a very good singer, but he's definitely not missing notes. I mean, obviously that's partially due to the technology.
Yeah, it's not like Kanye's autotune where his just goes all over the fucking place.
The way autotune works is if you're off the beat, or if
you're off the key.
If you're off the key, it actually sounds better than if you're almost off the key. So he either did a really good job or a really bad job, and they just fixed it up a lot. But he didn't sound like a robot. So I will give Drake props on his vocal performance. Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean,
and then 40's just a master. Like if you've seen where he works, like, and he built that place from the ground up, like he's literally used, like, I don't even know how to explain the space that they've created for that whole album. Like it's huge. It's like, it's very like intricate. It's literally built for him, and he had a big thing into it. Like I watched this one video of like just everything that he's put into it. I know he mainly uses a lot of like Complete Control and native instruments, like the Machine thing.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ,
Studio's
like,
big.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking legit, bro. Like he said that you can like bring your laptop like and plug in like 2 cords and then you immediately have access to everything in the studio, and then like you could just work off of any screen, any device, the boards, Pro Tools, anything you want. So like like that shit's fucking crazy. Like the way he's got it set up. So I know that he does a lot of passes. He passes everything through a lot of filters, and he's very intricate with what he does when it comes to producing Drake. So that's why I was just like, I mean, it sounds like 40's producing your vocals. That's to me. Like, I know exactly what 40 does to his voice. So until I hear you do some shit live, I don't know, bro.
For sure.
You know? But that's just me. But yeah. Life. I wonder. Will it take me under? I don't know. If I ruled the world. Imagine that.
So, I guess I was a little surprised. Maybe I didn't listen closely enough. Again, I really just gave it a 1 week listen. I didn't necessarily hear any shots fired on this record.
You want me to say one? And I think this would be a great segue for.
Please.
A lot of niggas cut the check so they can take this flow. A lot of niggas cut the check so they can take this flow. He says it twice.
Oh, I know. It's on the DMX song.
So
I don't
I
know
will
exactly what that's about, but what do you think he's referring to?
I don't know what he's referring to. To be honest, I don't know, because there's some fucking reference tracks out there. So I'm like, you cut the check so you could take the flow. So I don't know what's going on there. Like, I don't know how he says that when there's all these like reference tracks and things like that out there for that. And then also, I will actually give him props on how he inflected that and like how he transitioned. Yeah. It sounded great. I love that part.
I
just don't believe it.
I personally think with that line he was maybe referencing the Apple deal. Apple cut the check and he's exclusively on Apple. That's my thought.
Okay.
I think that's really it's talking about how his music people buy it.
Yeah.
But there's another line, and it might be
in the same song.
It might be in the same song.
A lot of niggas cut the check so they can take this flow.
It was in Grammy, the one with Future, which I rock with Future, but that was a terrible Future.
Yeah, I didn't like that
feature. Song. Oh my god, it was like that awkward moment in "I'm the Plug" where you feel like. Is Future on the beat or is he not on the beat? Is he in tune? Is he not in tune? I don't know. It was just not good.
Yeah.
But on that song, on Grammy, Drake goes top 5. It just made me laugh.
Yeah. That just made me laugh now. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he said top. He said it twice. He said it twice again. It's like, hold on.
Stop playing with yourself.
Nigga. What?
Stop flicking your dick.
Top 5?
What the fuck are you talking about?
And he said it so confidently, like, yeah, I'm top 5. Like, hold up, bro.
Nah, bro. I'm never putting him up there.
He can't be. I mean, you know, I didn't catch any Meek Mill disses in this thing, but, you know, that whole Meek Mill Drake thing that happened, everybody can say whatever they want to say. Yes, Drake bodied him when it came to the actual diss records.
Yep.
Bodied. Okay.
I wouldn't say bad. He won, but it's not a real beef. So you know what I'm saying, like you won.
When it comes to diss tracks, Meek Mill got bodied.
Okay.
Anywho,
I'm not saying that Meek like had great diss tracks or anything like. I'm just saying like that whole beef right there was just like
it was lukewarm.
Yeah, I know. People playing in the sand.
I know.
Versus these niggas out here that.
Of course.
But anyway, go ahead.
But that's fine. Hip hop ain't always got to be about toting. It can be about bars, dog. I know. So, when it comes to bars, Drake bodied Meek. But one thing that I think that was the battle, and when it comes to the war, I think Meek is still winning the war. I guess I said it.
How?
And I'll explain to you how I think Meek is winning the war.
Please. I don't get
because now. Every time Drake drops anything, people are always going to question who wrote it. There's always going to be a question of who wrote it, who helped him. was it actually Drake? Who was it? And then he comes and he drops this, new album, and like you just said, these 2 reference tracks pop up. So maybe 40 shouldn't be having every plug in the goddamn studio open. Niggas out here taking reference tracks.
It's not every plug, but yeah, I get you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a little too accessible. I shouldn't be able to find a Drake reference track, like a Party Next Door reference track like that.
I feel you on that, because I was like actually thinking about like all these reference tracks coming out, and I'm thinking about like Kendrick, like what's going on with Kendrick, like because Kendrick's my favorite rapper, of course. Yeah. So of this time right now. And so I'm thinking, like, what if something comes out for Kendrick? Like, there's some type of reference track. Like, I'm always trying to find like the yin and the yang of it. So like, if this is coming out and this is what everyone's talking about, and we all know that Drake is not Kendrick, and to me, I put him on a higher pedestal. I have to look at my favorite rapper the same way. But it's kind of like Kendrick put out his own reference tracks with that last Untitled Unmastered, right? So it's just like, and other niggas is putting out your reference track, so. And it's them singing it, not you. So just kind of like, okay.
It raises a lot of questions. Yeah. And that's all I'm saying about the Meek Mill thing. Meek Mill has raised a lot of questions. Like, what is this nigga doing? Mm-hmm. Is he actually doing this shit or what? Kendrick Lamar dropped a few bars. Mm-hmm. On To Pimp a Butterfly. Mm-hmm. Do you know those bars? Do you recall? King Kunta?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
I was about to say, are you wanting me to recite them?
And he's worked several times with Mr. Aubrey.
Yeah.
Graham. Mm-hmm. They've worked together on multiple albums.
He had a full-on interlude on, I want to say Take Care. Wasn't it Take Care? Or was it the one before?
Records. I think it was the one before.
I think it was Take Care. I'm going to fact check, but go ahead with what you're saying.
So, the point is, Kendrick Lamar threw these random little subliminals. We don't know if they were aimed at Drake, but it's funny how that same year the whole Drake thing came out. Meek Mill, flip side, again, they've worked together several times. Meek Mill probably heard some of these reference tracks and was pissed the fuck off. Probably a little bit of it was also hate, but the fact that we're still talking about it today lets me know and gives more validation to Meek Mill's initial position, which was, we just want to know, like, what's going on, dude? What's going on?
It was Kendrick Lamar. It was on Take Care, Buried Alive.
There we go.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I get you. I get what you're saying there with when it comes to Meek. Like, I don't know if he's not the real winner, but he's winning in that aspect.
He's not the winner, but when it comes down to it, I feel like even though Drake is winning with these record sales, his credibility has been permanently tarnished.
Yeah, in like the hip hop, like
yes.
What is it, like the grand scheme of things?
Yes, when
he's
it comes,
questioned.
Yes,
he'll never be a top 5.
Never
but
be top 5, and he said it.
Meek Mill will never be a top 5 either.
He won't. But
so the nigga's like, you know what? I'm bringing your ass down with me.
Hey man, but he's raised questions.
Yeah, he has.
And with questions, it's my job to try to bring some answers.
How, Sway? How? How, Sway?
So, I did a little bit of research.
Yeah. Oh yes, let's get to that.
I crunched a little bit of numbers here.
Ooh. Crunchy motherfucker.
So all I did, I pretty much went through a few artists, went through their albums.
Ran through them artists.
And I just tallied how many writers they had credited on their albums. Did a little math, and I figured out kind of the average number of writers per song on that specific record. Okay. I took into account features.
Oh, sure.
I took into account number of songs.
Sorry, my
distracting.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And I took into account, obviously, that the actual person should be considered a writer on their own song.
Right.
So, crunched all these numbers, and I came out.
Crunched numbers.
And I've got some numbers for you.
Tallied it
So,
up.
I remember last week we were talking about Drake being a pop star.
Pop star, pop star.
And so, with Drake being a pop star, you know, it's. I guess they kind of get a little pass when it comes to having credited writers on their songs, because you know what pop star writes their own music? Like, nobody does that. You know, you expect a pop star to have a team of writers that writes their songs, regardless of what the genre may be, whether it's hip hop, pop or pop, whatever, right? So I tried to even things out a little bit. So I'm just gonna start off the bat something that I learned that was probably most striking. One of the biggest pop stars of our time, Miss Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
She writes damn near every single one of her fucking songs.
Right.
It's literally Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, and this musician, Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift.
Right.
It's insane. All of her records. She has writer credits on every single song, and there's only like 3 or 4 other writers on the whole record.
Which means that bitch is getting paid.
It means she's getting paid.
Paid.
So I did another pop star. I did Beyonce as well.
Ooh.
I went through all 6 of her records.
6.
And the results, I know, right? And the results weren't, I guess, super surprising. Beyonce is definitely a big time writer on her projects. She's credited on just about every single song on every single project she's done. There's only a handful of songs that she didn't have a writer's credit on.
Okay, so she's kind of like Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Cool.
So just to give you guys some perspective here, Dangerously in Love had 3.33 writers per song.
Oh, that's an average?
It's the average.
Let's just say 3 because you can't have half a person.
Well, it brings some kind of context.
Okay, gotcha.
B-Day was 4.7. I Am Sasha Fierce was 3.7. 4 was 4.25. Beyonce was 4.1. And Lemonade was 6.16. So Lemonade having a lot more writers on it than any of her other records.
Again, this is averages. Go ahead.
This is average per song.
Right.
This is writers per song.
Right.
So let's just go to Drake then. Thank Me Later clocks in at a 4.28 writers per song.
Yikes.
This is a rapper, okay? And that's his first record, and it doesn't get any better after that. Take Care was 5.1 writers per song.
Okay.
Nothing Was the Same, 6.15 writers per song.
So he's growing.
If you're reading This Is Too Late, it's 5.12.
Okay.
And Views from the Six, guys. You guys ready for this? A whopping 6.4 writers.
That's a horrible drum roll.
Writers per song.
Say that one more time.
6.4 writers per song.
One more time.
6.4 writers per song for Views.
Yeah, damn dog.
Now, on top of that, there are 88 unique writers on this Views record.
88?
88 different people have writing credits on this album.
Oh, Lord.
Now, again, I want to give you some perspective. So let's go back up to Beyonce.
Yeah, let's get some context here.
So Lemonade, the one that I said had the 6.16 average, that one had 62 unique writers.
What the hell are these? Okay, yeah.
So Drake had 88, Beyonce had 62.
Jesus Christ.
So he's a rapper, you know, maybe your friend writes the hooks. Okay, let's compare apples to apples. J. Cole. Let's just throw that out there. Let's just do J. Cole, all right? J. Cole's first record, Cold World, 1.56 writers per song. Okay.
Sorry.
J. Cole wrote and produced damn near that whole record.
Right. That's why I had to clap it up.
And remember, I'm taking into account features as well, guys. If you go down the line with J. Cole, Born Sinner, 2.37 writers per
nigga,
song.
let's go. You making me happy right now. Let's go.
Forest Hill Drive, 3.38
I ain't
writers
mad
per
at it.
song.
I ain't mad at it. Let's go.
The most writers, unique writers, J. Cole had on any record was 38.
That's a little high for me, but okay.
Think about that though. On that record, he had 4 features.
Yeah.
There's 13 total songs. So if you figure
And then hooks. Yeah.
singing parts,
He
so
did sing. He did a lot of singing on Forest Hill Drive, though. So that whole San Tropez one, and then also apparently was all singing for the most part. Another day, another rhyme. Hope. Yeah. So that was I hope he wrote that, but
So
yeah.
and it's don't focus so much on the 38 unique writers. That's kind of just so but the 3.38 is average writers per song.
Right.
All right. Let's go to our favorite rapper at the
Kendrick
time.
Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar. Good Kid,
Mr.
Mad
Duckworth.
City. 3.41.
Okay.
To Pimp a Butterfly, 4.25.
That's not bad.
So when you're looking at, what it shocked me when I got to Pimp a Butterfly. I'm like, damn, 4.25. That's bouncing up there. That's like almost like Beyonce numbers. But then I'm like, that was a really cinematic, record. That was a really big record. It was really dense. It was a lot.
He doesn't have like
there.
6 niggas on the track though.
Right. He actually on
Well,
To
actually-
Pimp a Butterfly, he has 11 credited features. That
So
includes
that's-
singers. That includes rappers. Spoken word stuff.
Right.
That includes everybody who's credited as having a feature.
Right. So that makes sense. And then do you mind if I I don't want to interject in.
Sure.
So on Drake's, what are his features again?
Got it. So the one that we're referencing right now was Views with the 6.4 writers per song. Only had 7 features. With 80,
So I don't want to bore everybody too much with the numbers, but what we're getting at here is that Drake needs a lot more assistance.
a lot more. And it's again, the whole point is Meek Mill raised questions.
Right.
And so with those questions, tried to find some answers and crunching some numbers. Not even talking about ghostwriters. I'm talking about credited writers. Drake stands in a league of his own
Right.
when it comes to pop stars of the modern day. He has far more writers, credited writers, than the other artists that I looked up.
Or his peers.
His peers.
Those are his peers. J. Cole.
J. Cole and Kendrick
Kendrick.
are his peers. So
Yeah.
when you're talking about the top 3 artists out right now, you're talking about Drake, Kendrick, and Cole.
Yeah. There's no other. Unfortunately, there's no other names that come up as easily.
Of course not. Not saying there's not better rappers out there.
Right.
Of course.
There's tons.
Yeah. But we're talking about who's relevant now. And in the game right now, how it stands, it's Drake, Kendrick, and Cole.
So with all those numbers, basically, Drake needs a lot more assistance than J. Cole and Kendrick combined.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's...
And I'm being biased here, but to me, it sounds like he needs more assistance than Kendrick and Cole combined. And Kendrick even went to extra lengths to have a lot of people on this.
It wasn't even close. He was 2/3 of the way there.
Yeah, he went through a lot of lengths to actually get these people on To Pimp a Butterfly. He knew what feeling he was going. He knew what he wanted for that, and he locked everybody in a house to get it. And so that's another thing. I don't know if I'm gonna be switching it from numbers to just feelings and opinions here, but that's another thing is that when I hold I have a standard of what I hold my rappers to. And Drake, I want him to be something like Kendrick. He deserves to be something like Kendrick. The reach that he has, the talent that he has, regardless, he's got raw talent.
Right.
Oh my god, I can't even talk. He's got raw talent. And like, I just don't feel like to me, it's just like someone not living up to the potential that they have.
Yeah.
And when I have people like Kendrick that are pushing the envelope, and people that are providing such like different sounds and like a unique package to me, I know Drake has something like that to provide. And time after time, I don't get it.
How many classic records has Drake put out?
Zero.
How many classic records has Kendrick put out?
2.
How many classic records have Cole put out?
Ooh, I want to say like, okay, if I'm being critical, we'll say 1.
Which one is that?
2014. But Born Sinner was really good.
A lot of people hated Born Sinner, and I loved it.
I know. I knew you were going for it, but Born Sinner was really good. And then I'll even also go back to the warm up. I used to bump the warm up like it was a fucking album.
I didn't even count that one because that wasn't
It wasn't an actual album.
Release, yeah.
So that's the thing, is that like all of the mixtapes, like J. Cole's mixtapes, out of this world.
How about Section 80?
Oh my God, I would count that as like my life. But that's, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting. I would count, and you know what else I would count? I don't know if I would put this as a classic, but it's up there. It's close, like a runner-up to all that stuff. 100 Miles and Running, Wale. I loved that fucking tape. Like, the nigga was just rapping, and it was like raw. Like, I need to make it. I'm smart. I know this shit. I know I'm the shit. Like, this is it. 100 Miles and Running. You know, I mean, I don't know.
So,
it's a lot of stuff.
Just kind of bringing everything into perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Drake has all these writers, more so than other of his peers. One of the biggest issues with the album that I had was that it was supposed to be a classic album about Drake, about where he came from. I was expecting to learn something new about Drake.
Right, because that's how he presented it, right?
I was expecting to get a window into the life of Drake or the soul of Drake.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell can you do that when you've got 88 different people writing for you?
Right.
Whether they're writing your bars or they're writing 1 line or 2 lines. Remember, raw numbers were not necessarily saying these 88 people wrote everything Drake did, but they had a piece in it.
They're getting credit. They had a piece enough to where they get credit.
Well, they actually got credited for it. So when this thing actually receives its platinum plaque, everybody gets a little chunk of that.
Now, is he actually? I'm playing devil's advocate here. Does he list these people to make sure that niggas is eating?
Sure, he says that a lot. If there's anything consistent about Views from the Six, he talks a lot about making sure his niggas eat.
So maybe he's listening. Like maybe next time we need to actually dive into the actual writers and who they are to Drake, because what he might be doing, because I've heard a lot of like, I think Nas did that too. Nas made sure that one of his albums went to his daughter got like, not writer's credit, but I think something around there, like publishing or something.
That's great.
So that she can eat for life off of that album.
That's cool. I mean,
so I don't know. I don't know what Drake's doing. I don't know.
I mean, why?
Devil's advocate.
Why do all these people have to eat if they're not actually helping you out? If they're not helping you eat, why do they gotta eat?
And he's always talking about cutting things off.
He's man. So again, guys,
I don't know, man.
It's just it's not a surprise to me that we don't know much about Drake, because it's not just Drake on these records.
And then also, I think he's trying to keep that mystique about him, because you know what he's doing? I think he's doing it in the wrong way. And again, I keep relating it to Kendrick. But Kendrick does this really well. Like, he gives you all of himself within his music, but he's still mysterious. Like, we still don't know. Like, we didn't even know he was married. Or
right, he was engaged.
Yeah.
Before I even knew he had a girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he does very, very well with that. And so, like, maybe it's just two separate, like,
it's different people.
Yeah, I know that, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
They're two different realms, okay? Mm-hmm. Drake is that person who can sell 1 million the first week, and Kendrick is one of those guys who can sell out every single ticket in every city he goes to.
So is Drake, but yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But like, I get what you're saying. Like, I think Drake is a shot. Kendrick's a slow burn. Drake gets you where you're going. You know what you're getting with him. Kendrick's a slow burn. He's still there, but he's gonna be there for a while. Like it's not burning out.
Yeah, and this raises another
I hate
thing
to
for
compare
me.
it, but
I have to apologize to all the listeners right now.
Why?
In a lot of our discussions, I've omitted J. Cole from the discussion.
Oh yeah, we definitely have.
J. Cole's a beast.
Beast.
So definitely props to J. Cole for actually using the least amount of writers on this list.
You know that nigga's married too?
What?
Yeah.
See, you learn something new every day, guys.
Ryan Coogler outed him on an interview. Ryan Cooper, the director from Oakland of Creed, Fruitvale Station.
Got it.
But yeah, he didn't mean to. Because he was interviewing him. He was like, oh man, I don't know how to do this shit. But yeah, J. Cole, beast. Least amount of writers.
Least amount of writers on average per song in his entire catalog.
And probably one of the most independent of the three.
I mean, he's signed Rock Nation, so I'm not sure how independent that is.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
That's pretty establishment. But he does produce a lot of his music.
Yeah.
He actually makes the music behind it as well, which is something that Kendrick and Drake do not do.
Right.
So, I mean, that's really all I'd say. I don't like giving ratings to albums.
Yeah.
Arbitrary numbers and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not going to give a number. I'm just going to say it's not something that I would continually go back to listen to.
Nope. No.
Good try. I mean, A for effort.
Nah, man. I give all those 88 people an A for effort. They try real hard.
You are very upset with that.
It's kind of ridiculous. Do you see this stuff?
He's got a ton of papers.
If
he did his research on this, guys.
Size of writers from a Kendrick or a Cole record to even a Beyonce record to a Drake record. Mm-hmm. It's staggering.
Yeah. And in R&B, so that's another thing I'll probably touch on for like just 2 seconds because we're almost at an hour. This whole thing with ghostwriters, rappers not writing, like, I want to make it clear. If you are a fan of hip hop, then you should know, as a rapper, or as an MC, you must write your own rhymes, regardless. You can bounce ideas off of someone, but when you are writing something like your verse, that must be you. A hook, that's fine. We all know this. It's like an unwritten rule. Like, I don't know why niggas is trying to act like they don't know this shit. Like, no one can write your verse. You can share a hook. You can develop a hook together, but you can't have anybody write your verse. When it comes to R&B music, yes, like in R&B, it's a different culture. It's something that's different where they actually have writers and you actually sing a song. These writers might not be able to convey the song the way that you can because your voice is a lot stronger than theirs. So sometimes I even think about that in regards to Drake. Is Drake a better rapper? Can he convey this song better than Quentin Miller? Because we've always said Quentin Miller has a very unique style, but I fall asleep at the sound of his voice.
Yeah, it's
but if
boring.
Drake's rapping it,
sounds great.
So, I mean, to me, I don't want that in my hip hop. I don't want any part of that. I don't want no facade there. But I don't know. Like, it's just hip hop it's black, not black and white. Maybe fuck it. It's black and white. You write your shit, you write your verse, and it's from you. And if your shit's whack, we'll throw your fucking ass back, and you have to go and write that shit again.
Damn.
Like,
so then have we reached the point in hip hop where, because you know what the pillars of hip hop are. We talked about this before. Mm-hmm. Have you reached the point in hip hop where Now, rap is a separate piece of hip hop, where you can be a rapper, but be outside the confines of hip hop, be outside the umbrella of
Rapping
hip hop.
is the action. Hip hop is the culture. So if you can rap on a pop song, but that doesn't mean it's hip hop.
Okay.
That to me. I don't
All
know.
right. No.
Yeah.
I'm just. So then, is Drake a rapper? Is
Or a
he
pop star?
a pop star? Is he a part of hip hop? You know what? Where does he fall?
Who knows? We'll answer that next week.
Whose rules should he fall into?
Exactly.
Unfortunately, he's breaking all of them. I mean, he's still got more writers than Beyonce.
And then also, hip hop
So-
was never meant to be a box. So then, I'm playing again, both sides. Hip hop was never meant to be a box. Who are we to put him in a box? Try and put me in a box? It's impossible.
He put himself in a box, calling himself top 5. Okay.
Right. The nigga's not top 5. If you want to be a top 5 MC, that means you must write your fucking rhymes. Point blank period. If I found out today that Kendrick Lamar did not write his rhymes, I would fucking disown him. Because that would break my goddamn heart.
It would break my heart more than knowing that Drake didn't write his shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Drake don't talk about shit.
If J. Cole told
J.
Cole,
J.
man.
If J. Cole
told everyone today that he did not write his rhymes. If Jay-Z, if Nas, if KRS-One, if all these motherfuckers, if Rakim said, nah, nigga, I didn't write that. That was my boy. Hip hop is built on a lie. I can't deal with that shit. I would fucking explode.
I just imagine like
My
your head
head.
just.
It's dumb. Anyway, I think we're gonna have to end that there.
All right. And so with that, we'll just end this Drake thing.
Yes, I hope to God that we don't have to bring Drake back up in this capacity ever again. And that's not even a shot at Drake. Like I just don't want to be on his nuts, and I don't want to be on Kendrick's nuts like that either. I want us to have an equal conversation.
Yeah, but you know, if some nigga's better than the next nigga, we might talk about the best nigga. Anyway, you know, I just hope this. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Let's just get the Drake out the system. Mm-hmm. It's gone.
The Drake out the system.
So that was episode 6.
6 from the 6, view from the 6, views from through the crate for the 6.
Views through the crate
regarding the 6th
episode.
All right, we out of here, motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, deuces, guys. Thanks for listening.